So I find it very fitting for this episode to have my little Panama cup. Yeah, if I'm watching here, it's because I have a little secondary screen. How I ended up in Panama, how I created content on Panama. This is the entire story on everything, the roadmap to Panama, the workshops, and everything, right? So, it's this really amazing story, I would say. So, back in 2022, I asked, well, first to begin with, as you guys know, I teach a lot of import export education, showing, being in business for so many years. A lot of persons reach out to me and ask me, hey, they want to learn how to do this, they want to learn how to import this, etc. So I was mainly teaching a lot of stuff to import from Alibaba, all right? And then randomly, I used to get one or two inquiries about Panama, very rarely. But anyway, I just started to do some research, and I made a video. Now, this was back in 2022. I made a video on how to import from Panama, all right? So at the time, Panama was like, everybody was in the Caribbean. They were now hearing about Panama, or the existing business owners used to kind of keep it a secret, but it started to become very mainstream now. Anyway, I made this video on someone else's website. They actually offered remote sourcing and importation from Panama, all right? So I made the video on it, promoted their website, etc. And this thing blew up. I think it got like, now the video is like probably 200,000 plus views or something like that, over 150,000. And then on Facebook, it gone like over another 100,000 views. So this thing just started to blow up. This was in 2022, right? So I didn't bother about it. I just, looked at it as, another video just went viral. So I continued on doing my workshops and my programs, etc. on Panama. Sorry, on Alibaba, right? Yeah. So something weird started to happen. So every week, I would just get messages upon messages, how to import from Panama, what to do from Panama, all of these sorts of things. All right. And I just ignore it, I just wasn't bothering about it. All right. Anyway, I continued on, for months and months and months. Probably on a weekly basis, I'll get like 3 to 4 inquiries on Panama and how to import from them. Anyway, 2023, August of 2023, something unfortunate happened in Trinidad and Tobago. My vehicle, I woke up one morning and my vehicle got stolen. This is very important. So I woke up one morning, look outside, my vehicle got stolen. All right. Yeah, and actually that morning I had a presentation to do for a company, and it's like I didn't even have time to like go to the police station to do the reporting or anything. I just I probably called it in, and I'm just like, here's what, head to the presentation, come back. All right. Anyway, that was August. December of 2023, I was sitting down talking with my wife, and from August at that point in time, I was kind of saving up some money to buy a new vehicle. Anyway, so I sat down and I told my wife, I was like, listen, let's not buy the vehicle right now. Let's go on a little vacation. Let's do some traveling, etc. All right, and we sat down talking about it and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, let's go Barbados, let's see how Barbados is, etc. And then she spun around and she told me, she's like, hey, let's go to Panama. Let's do a vacation, but, kind of make it a little business something where, again, so many inquiries, let's see how it is, right? I kid you not. The moment we were talking about our situation, one sec. The moment we were talking about that, I was doing social media management for a travel agency, just a few clients. And I kid you not, talk about a sign from God, where she just sent out a WhatsApp blast on a promotion, a Panama vacation promotion. I was like, this is a sign right here. Yeah, this is it right here. You can't get clearer sign, like that. Anyway, I knew the owner of the company, and I spoke with her, and I said, hey, listen, if I come and pay right now or do an online transfer, I was like, I want a little, discount. I did a little bartering, etc. Because it was my wife, myself, and my, I think, 6 or 7 month old baby. All right. So she gave me a discount. I did the transfer, and I went early January. I think it was like the second week in January I went. All right. Now, my thing is that my intention when I was going to Panama was to really create something. I mean, I'm very good with my digital products. I'm good with the workshops, etc. I was like, my rule when it came to anything that I'm doing is that I have to experience it first. I have to make all the mistakes and go through everything and then bring it back to you guys and tell you what is really going on, right? I don't like to, just say, here's what. Just create something out of the blue and that's that. And, a lot of people do things and they're not sure with certain things. So anyway, in my mind, so many things happening so fast. I'm like super excited, all these sorts of things. And I'm like, what am I gonna call this eventually? Like what is the end goal, etc. So I want the whole ideal thing was I actually wanted to create a workshop around teaching business owners how to import from Panama, because the issue was on the internet there was limited information. It's not like Alibaba where you can go see, talk to a distributor, etc. Fun fact, at the end of this video, I'll be revealing a little something to you guys, but there wasn't any website like that. So the only way for you to go and buy from Panama was to actually fly there and go on the ground, meet the suppliers, go into the free zone. So what I ended up doing was I was like, okay, I understood that this was the scenario with it. So at the same point in time, right, I never even revealed this. To anybody. Somebody had messaged me from Panama that they're living. It was actually I don't want to reveal the person, but they had messaged me, right? They're actually like a agent in which they buy goods, etc. Because I was going to Panama blindly, like I didn't know. My intention was to go and document everything, right, for the entire roadmap to Panama Workshop, which is linked down below. If you want to know about Panama, everything is there, right? And I met this guy. I didn't know where I was gonna go, where the free zone is, what to do, how far it was, money I was gonna spend, nothing like that. Anyway, this guy, he had reached out to me. I mean, he sounded really not shady, but like, and not like a hustler. And I wasn't really getting a bad vibe, but it was just like, I was in a situation where like, okay, I really don't know what to do and I have no choice. I was like, here's what, let me be clear with this individual and tell him what I'm looking for and what I want, right? Anyway, so the guy was basically like an agent in Panama. He would go on the ground and buy goods for people and ship it out to them, all right? So I told him I was coming and I'm like, listen, here's the situation. I am coming to document this entire process and see, what is it about and all these sorts of things. And, see, basically where I go from there. All right. I said, but what I want to do is that the people that and the stores that I want to go and film and get prices, do like a couple of vlogs, which I have a lot of footage. I'll probably do a nice compilation and post it on my channel. If that's something you want to see, comment down below and tell me you want to see the full vlog. Because it's like over an hour long of me raw footage. So I ended up doing that, and I told him, I was like, listen, I want to film these things, vlog inside the free zone. I was like, how much is it gonna be? Because I was basically gonna go for like a day, right, into the free zone. So he basically told me, he said he'll take like 150 US for the day. That's pick up in Panama City and go straight down to the free zone, right? Which is roughly a little hour drive. Anyway, landed in Panama the Sunday or Saturday, landed in Panama the Sunday morning, rest up and everything, and I said I would go in the free zone Monday. Anyway, I go into the freeze. He picks me up. I was staying at the Marriott Hotel. He picks me up, introductions, first time meeting, and it was going really good. We had like good conversations, etc. He was telling me a lot of inside information with Panama, how things work, the operations, and everything. So we actually went. We reached the free zone. He was explaining everything, the little entrance fee, things like goods cannot come out. And then we went to a couple of stores that he knew. And I got a good bit of footage my first time. He showed me a shipping warehouse. We went to this and I was vlogging. And while we were vlogging, I was just like a quick promo. Hey, guys, this is shipping warehouse. This is how it looks. And like one of the guys there, I don't know if he just knew one person from there, and it was just like do your thing fast kind of way. So I ended up doing it, and then one guy came out and he was like really upset, talking a bunch of Spanish, and all I hear was like policia. I was like, oh Lord, right? Anyway, so as things progressed, it started to feel a certain way where it's just like, he kind of wasn't. It wasn't like an official company or official, something he was dealing with. It was just like, he just freelancing, right? So I'm telling myself, I was like, listen, if I do a workshop and I were to recommend this individual to my customers, this is something that I don't think a person I resonate with who would handle my customers. Because if I'm recommending somebody, it's my word, my everything, right? So I did my entire day there. I got to see, a good bit of stores, etc. Anyway, so I was filming some content, and anyway, prior to that, my day ended in the free zone. Got some food, came back home, and I was, lazy with my wife, telling her the experience, and I left a bad taste because I was just like, oh gosh, I can't do this workshop again. I can't do any of these things because, it's not gonna work out, right? And I was like disappointed because I felt like this entire thing was just, let me just enjoy the holiday. Like this whole thing is gonna squash, right? Then a little miracle happened. Grateful to God again. So I was filming content, guys, what is the prices in Panama? I was in Albrook Mall, etc. And then first, a big shout out to Ryan Kwong, I hope I pronounced your last name, from Cargo Consolidators in Trinidad. He randomly DM me. I did not know this individual. I just get a random DM on Facebook or TikTok or something. And he was like, hey, see your content here in Panama, wherever. If you need to reach out to somebody, we have an agent that we deal with in Panama. Okay? So I'm like, okay. I was like, I went from like Sunday to the following Saturday. All right. So this was like Tuesday, Wednesday. And I'm like, All right, there's a little good sign, right? So anyway, I messaged the person, which now is my good friend Yvette Shepherd, and I messaged. I was like, hey, I got it because when this person from a legitimate company reached out to me and they said they deal with this person in Panama, I'm like, okay, well, here's what. If a big company is dealing with an agent like this, then this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this kind of professionalism, right? So I messaged the individual. I was like, "Hey, I'm in Panama. I'm doing a lot of research, etc." I was like, I would love to do a little, interview with you, because I want to offer some services to persons, right? She reached out. We spoke. Her English is really, really good. She drove all the way from Colon to Panama City, which is roughly like an hour drive. So took the elevator, head down. Took the elevator, head down. And I met her. We had some coffee, and I started to discuss with her. I was like, "Listen, I want to do this entire workshop and educating business owners." And I was like, I want an agent to basically carry people around into the free zone after they do the workshop. So we educate them and we carry them around. And she actually has her own shipping company. She was like, she even told me, she's like, "You're a godsend," because she's like, "We're looking for something like this. There's not much education on Panama." And she's like, "This system is really, really good." So this is 2023. Okay. Anyway, I got about, I got a lot of footage, and I got about 90%, 95% of the information on Panama and what to do. All right. Things like shipping prices, stores in particular, industry, the different categories, the hotels, the flights, the distance, how much things cost, all these sorts of things, right? Compile it. Anyway, this was beginning of 2023. Yeah, this was 2023. Yeah. So some time passed, and when I came back to Trinidad, I was kind of liaising with Yvette. We were talking. I actually compiled all the information in the workshop, and I actually created what is now the Roadmap to Panama workshop. Right? I did my first live event. Yeah, I believe it was a live event or online workshop. I can't remember what it was, and it was a huge success. Like, a lot of people, they came. I think our first event was like over, I think it was like close to 30 people. Anyway, later that year, I went back to Panama again, but this time was really nice because I got Yvette to take me around. Now, she had good relationships with the stores. And around that time, it was the Expo Furia Expo, which I never even released footage from that expo. It's like over an hour-long footage of me just walking around the expo, etc. So I went back to even film more stores, which on my YouTube channel, wherever, just click my name, and on my YouTube channel, you'll actually see like 3 or 4 vlogs that I did of different stores. All right. Anyway, so I finally went back to Panama, landed, and get like a really proper tour with Yvette. All right. And it was really, really good. I got to learn a lot more, got to see a lot of different products, etc. And came back again, and then I refined the entire workshop really, really well. I think to date now, I did like about 6, 7, I did like about 5. Yeah, so it's about 8 workshops in person I've done in total. One of them, she actually flew to Trinidad and we did a workshop with her. So she came from Panama to Trinidad. So in all, between Guyana and Trinidad, I did like about 8 workshops. My biggest Panama workshop was actually in Guyana. I think it was like close to 70 something persons attended. On my Facebook page is like a picture of it was like my biggest Panama event. Guyana really is on a boom right now, so a lot of persons were interested. And I'll tell you a little quick story just now with the Guyana workshop. But yeah, so yeah, ever since then, now my entire roadmap to Panama workshop has been training business owners to go to Panama and buy. All right. And it's been a super amazing journey. I mean, I didn't think it would have been this successful. I just kept at it. And, one of the things that really blew me away was up to recently, I met with this individual. He took my entire workshop, right? The Panama Workshop. There's a business owner in Guyana. And after he took it, he told me he like he got a piece of land, he put it up as collateral to get a loan on the bank, and he took I think he took like 10 or 15,000 US, and he went to Panama. And this dude brought down like a 20-foot container. He brought down a couple of pallets. And then he just told me, he's like, bro, he met this supplier. He ordered a container. When he brought, after the pallets, after the container now, he sold it out. And then that year, it was recently, 2020, late 2025. Because I did my Guyana workshops like last year in 2026 now. And he told me, he was like, from August Christmas time, he flipped like 4 containers from Panama, from just my workshop alone. And he messaged me, he's like, bro, I'm super grateful that you compile this information because a lot of people don't know these things. So it's very fulfilling when I see testimonials like that. Like another person I know, this was my Alibaba import bootcamp, and she told me her husband died, right? It was like an imports business they were doing. And she was like, her husband died and she didn't know anything about the business. And she said, I just saw your program online. I took it. And she said, she brought in like about 3 40-foot containers by herself. And actually, helped sustain the business and kept the business going instead of closing it down. And like, I was just blown away that this individual, she knew nothing about. I mean, she had like a good idea, but then it was like, unfortunate event, her husband passed away, etc. And to know that, listen, my information and program just helped her bring in this amount, and she actually sustained the business, is like, okay, I just lost for words, right? And that's my thing. I love business. I love doing these things. Like how I did the 200 US challenge, starting a business with just 200 US and making a profit in under 30 days, 0 followers, everything at home. When I went to Panama, right, I saw agents making 5 and 10,000 US profit on a customer by just taking their orders, going in the free zone, buying goods and exporting to them. When I saw that back in 2023, this is something I do now, where I actually have my own brand of chemicals, janitorial brand called Rhino Clean. So it's a multi-purpose cleaner. We have disinfectants, kitchen cleaners, all these sorts of things. But what I do is that I don't sell locally. I basically export minimum order 1 pallet to different countries. So I have a distributor in Guyana. We have a couple of distributors in the Caribbean islands. I just deal with them and export to them. That's it. Basically wholesale drop shipping. All right. And when I don't have I don't have warehouse space. I don't have anything. I just run my Facebook ads, collect orders, and basically when I get the full wire transfer payment and everything, I basically send it to the customer. And this is something you could actually do from Panama as well, where listen, instead of bringing the goods into your country, you could actually now, send everything from Panama to your customer in the different islands, etc. And I think this is one of the core ways for Caribbean businesses to start to expand and make US dollars. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's the whole story with your roadmap to Panama. It's been a long journey. Panama is beautiful. Let me tell you guys something. Panama has everything what America has and more. Much safer. There's no downtime. You go to Panama in January, February is like Christmas anymore. A lot of people. The currency is 1-to-1 to the US. So, you don't need to change money or anything like that. It has been really, really an amazing journey. And that's just, everything just happened by the will of God. And just content creation, making one video, just transformed everything into this. And one of the lessons I learned is that, stick to one thing and be good at it. Ask yourself, how do I make this better? How do I make this better? How do I make this better? And with that being said, I actually have something coming very soon. It will be launching I'm hoping by August of 2026, in which, I mentioned earlier about there's a lack of information with suppliers and stuff in Panama. Basically, I am working on, I don't want to say too much, but I'm working on something where you can experience the free zone and business in Panama online before you go, where you're able to get suppliers and find deals and find legitimate, agents, and find unique categories in which you're able to see all the information, because there isn't everything is in Spanish. You don't know who's who, was what, all these sorts of things. So it's a project that I've been working on for a couple of months now. And I should say it's a website. I've been working with developers, the coding, every single thing. Now, here's the thing. If you want to be a part of this launch, because it'll be the first of its kind, and, be the early bird subscribers to this particular platform, sign up down below. As I said, I can't reveal too much. That's just a little bit about it, but it's really connecting you with suppliers and ensuring that you get a good, everything in English. So like that. A little hint, you see the other Panama videos where you see me doing tours and like Waleed Magnets with the fragrance supplier, the auto accessories, etc. You see that kind of style of videos. That is going to be on the website as well, but it's going to be like a really, really huge with multiple stores, etc. That and a couple other really, really cool features. So take the questionnaire down below, sign up, and if you want to get in early as an early user and customer on it, because you have to create an account. I'm actually doing an app as well for your phone. It's going to be really good. I already say too much already. All right. But yeah, that's my story at Panama. And after that launch, in August, I was, some other exciting stuff as well. That's going to be pretty good. The launch is just the beginning of it. So yeah, that's my story of how, everything started with the roadmap to Panama. If you like this video, you'd like to see me do more business story videos like this, because I have a ton more. Comment down below. Tell me. I know this is like a long form podcast style, so I'm hoping to do more podcasts very soon. But yeah, tell me if you like this style in a video. And if you want to hear more business stories, yeah, this is my story of how I ended up doing business in Panama and creating the entire roadmap to Panama journey. All right, be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and I would love to hear any comments down below. If you've ever been to Panama, if you're planning on going on Panama, or if you want to, do business in Panama, the link is in the description for the workshop and the little survey questionnaire that I'm asking for you guys to fill out. That is below in the description. All right, so that is it. I probably want to do another video on like spotting profitable products in Panama. Yeah, comment down below and tell me if you want that. All right, so thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. I think it's like half an hour on the dot. Yeah, looking forward to hearing from you guys. Take care.